Hello and welcome back to another video. This is a bit of a video that I didn't really intend to make, and it's cropped up really. And as you know, I'm a bit of a womble, and I collect things, all sorts of things, and I've amassed all sorts of things. A lot of people call it rubbish. I certainly don't. It's part of our past, and although I've always said you can't live in the past, but without the past, we don't have a future. So to me, it's very interesting, and like this all started quite coincidentally a couple of weeks ago. I had my great niece coming, and she likes to play on my two pinball machines. And the last time she came, many months ago, we switched one on. It was just at the end of the winter. We switched one on, and it failed to come on or wouldn't reset. And so I said, I can't do it now. I've got to move it all out and get to the, get to the insides, get to the back box. I said, I promise you, when you come again, I'll have it working again. So there we go. I think that shows, the that they're working okay, and normally they're very reliable when you get the contacts cleaned. And it was just some contacts on the scoring reels that I think, having not used it for such a long while. This one, by the way, I forgot to say, this one, this Golden Arrow is 1976-77 machine, and would you believe it originally was on Chroma Pier in Norfolk, in some amusement arcade there, when it was brand new. But while I was moving things about, I came across this Bush TV62. Interesting story. I didn't buy this. Sadly, an old chap that I was very friendly with, he died, and he hadn't got a lot of. He got a couple of radios, old vintage radios, and he, as his family had had one of these in the 1950s, he also had bought himself one of these. I don't know where he bought it from. He did tell me it came from a radio and television dealer, and it was sold to him as working. That didn't really matter to him because he hadn't got a converter, but he just liked the radios that he'd got and the television. He just liked the thought that it could still work if need be, and he liked that idea, and so he'd bought it as working. And obviously he sadly died, and he left them to me, which was very kind of him. So I haven't paid for this. It's come into my possession like that. And I just thought, while I was moving it about, I thought, oh, I'll try that television. And I thought, well, I'll do a quick few tests on it. And this model has got, for those familiar with old radios and televisions, this has a 2-pin Bush plug, a bit like the, well, it is the DAC, the DAC radios, the DAC 90 radios. The 2-pin plug that you use on that also fits this television. And so obviously, it wasn't plugged in, it hadn't got a plug in it. There was just the 2 pins sticking out the back of the television. I thought, I'll do I'll just check across them as a quick check. And luckily I did, before I found a bush lead and put it on and plugged it in, because it was reading dead short. So I thought, well, I'm not going to go any further. I'm not going to plug this set in. When I've got a few minutes spare, I'll take it, take the chassis to bits, take it out. I'd got the service data I knew for the set, which is quite comprehensive. I've also got the trader sheet. So as you can see, somebody has replaced an awful lot of the wax paper capacitors with quite good quality. I mean, they're RS resistors, capacitors, the yellow capacitors you can see there. And the soldering isn't bad, and it's been done quite, efficiently, I would say. But this is kind of what made me smile. And everybody has different, I'm not knocking anybody here. Everybody has different ideas and different thoughts about restoring items like this. But what really made me smile was, obviously, as you can see, as I investigated, it's got the old problem with the bush. This is the negative mains, or was the mains negative supply to this switch. And as you can see, the rubber has gone really hard and brittle and just cracks off. An age-old problem with certain, if you ever restored one of the Bush DAC 90 radios, that can happen sometimes on some of those. You find the rubber, particularly to the dial lamps and such things. So there's quite a bit of that's happened. And rather than rewire it, as I shall do over a period of time, obviously it's going to be quite a long restoration for me, but what somebody has done, whether you can see this, I've got my bladed screwdriver, I'm pointing, what somebody has done, where all the insulation has, is that going to focus? I think you could probably see that tip of that screwdriver anyway there now. But down there you can see a gooey, clear white kind of mess. And obviously a lot of the rubber insulation has broken off all these cables down there. There's quite a kerfuffle of cables down there. And somebody has, in their wisdom, gone in with silicone mastic and squirted mastic all over to try and insulate and stop those wires touching. And I have to say, I do class that as a little bit of a bodge. It's not kind of my standard of restoration, and I don't class myself as somebody that knows everything or does it right all the time by any means. But it made me smile. This white silicone, sealant or mastic, call it what you like, seems to get everywhere these days, and people use it for just about anything and everything. And here we are, somebody's pumped a load down there to try and get some insulation back onto the cables that are all, as I say, like this black wire, the rubber is, perished and it's all sort of flaking off. Not ideal by any means. It looks like the television's had quite a hard life. It's got hot at times, as televisions do. But I think it's very restorable. And obviously, I've got the data, so I shall go all through it, make sure these capacitors are all in the right place and all the right value. And then slowly replace this wire with some nice modern, like silicone coated wire that looks like the old-fashioned rubber wire, and try and match the colours as best I can, and kind of rewire it. I don't think I'm going to make a series of videos on this set, because it's a little bit like paint drying, watching somebody soldering, and you can't always get in the camera and you can't see what I'm doing and you tend to block your hand. But I will probably make one or perhaps two more videos of show you how I'm progressing on with it. And it's going to be a slow old job, I think, because I've got other things on the go at the moment in time as well. But I would like to see if we can get it back up and running, and make it a lot more safe to switch it on, because obviously at the moment some of this insulation has broken off, and there is a dead short on the between the negative and the positive going towards the main switch, coming from the 2-pin plug there, as you can see. Naturally, there's quite a lot of, obviously there's a lot of heat generated on these droppers, and some of this insulation has also gone, and somebody's used some more mastic down there. So we'll clean all that up and rewire it where need be. So I like to use a very high melt point of solder on these tags of these droppers, because they do get so hot. And you can find, if you use conventional solder, it can get so hot that it almost melts and comes loose, or goes a bit funny. So I used a high melting point solder on those. But yeah, as I say, really, you know, the capacitor changing looks okay to me. Who's ever done that? Hopefully, I'll show you some progress whenever that might be. It might be a few weeks, it might even be a month or two, but we will be coming back to the Bush TV62. Quite a nice, it's a nice cabinet set. There's no cracks in it. I assume the tube is good. There again, that's something we'll come back to, as I say, and have a look. And hopefully we can do a splendid womble job on it and get it up and running again. So there we go. Just a very little video there, just to show you the scourge of the mastic, the silicone sealant strikes again. As I say, and we will probably be revisiting that at some point and see if we can get a picture for the wombles to watch. And with that, I'll say thanks for watching as always. Thanks for your kind comments. Thanks to the new subscribers. It's great to have you along. And as I say, we do a number of things here, from all sorts of things. Life never gets boring. And as always, my best wishes, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Until then, bye for now.